unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You just crossed over into the rabbit hole.
And we're live. We're live.
Hey everybody, welcome to the FFN Radio International. We're here with D and Donnie. Blaze Man will not be with us tonight. He's recovering from some surgery, so I will be temporarily filling in for him. With that being said, I hope everybody's doing good. How you gentlemen doing today? D?
Hey, shit, little introduction. We're not going. I like this format better. Not really going into inflation. That all's good. All's good, Chris. One, want to appreciate you, man, for coming in, for filling in for the Blaze Man. Two, looking forward to a good show. And three, we're just three guys just trying to say what's on our mind, man. Donnie? You're muted, brother.
Sorry about that. Been a week. I forgot. But no, I'm great. Things are good. Life is good. Put my toes in the water down in the Gulf this week, so I'm happy. I'm good.
Yes, we'll talk about that later.
Hell yeah, that's what I want to hear. Live and let live. So, gentlemen, tonight we're going to go on and we're going to talk about a couple of things and a couple of things that probably weren't discussed previously. Tonight we're going to talk about the LBGQ. I'll be respectful, but then again, we got the Rooney Rule controversy. It was already discussed. We got the whole affirmative action shit going on, but now the NFL is actually stepping it up a notch. So we'll see what the panel thinks about the new rules going in effect this year. And inflation. Why was eggs in 2014 $2.01, and in 2018 down to $1.40? Now with everything going on, the eggs are going back up to $2. Let's talk about the reason why that's all coming to hand. So, gentlemen, what do you say we start with some LBGQTWZXYNZ? Or do you want to save that one for later?
We can get into it.
Yes.
That stuff, the transgender thing, and how it's affecting sports right now, because I just read some stuff from a article on the news, Yahoo, and that earlier. Pennsylvania supposedly is passing a law to not let transgender girls or women playing girls' sports. And from what I understood, it was approved. So now they got to play in a different arena. They got to make a different, team. Something's got to be done.
Okay.
But I love the quote.
Hey, go ahead, Donnie.
No, I love the quote from one of the sponsors of the bill. He says, "Identities don't play sports, bodies do." That is absolutely truth, because I know your identity and you want to identify as Shirley when your name's Steve. That's great. But Shirley, you was born Steve, and you got a better body for sports than certain sports than a female does. Our bodies are created differently. So that makes an unfair advantage for that transgender person. It really does.
Yeah. Hey, so Chris, just want to share a little something with you and the viewers. So when we were in the Army, there was two different sets of standards, and the men had the higher standards, and the Army broke it down so good. And this was before all this woke culture shit, and just we're going crazy. But anyways, the Army laid it.
Equality bullshit that's going on too.
The what, brother?
The equality. Oh, it's all got to be equal. Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
There's some things that can't. But go,
No,
dude. Sorry.
No, brother, and shit, that's what makes our show, bro. Bouncing back off each another, man. Um, the heart, for example, of a female and a male are proportionally bigger in size. I believe the male is bigger in 30%, Donnie.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yep. The male can take more oxygen intake than a female can,
Yep.
and we just had common sense people in the world running the world back in them days,
Yeah.
and now this liberation front that everybody is equal. I'm just not buying it, bro.
No,
Donnie.
I can't bite on that one. Like you said about there were standards for like the PT test. They
Yes.
broke it down: push-ups, sit-ups, run. Men, different age groups, whatever, but it was men, and there was a woman scale. Men, once again, their bodies are longer, so they have a longer stride. So the standard for them to get the same 80 points for a 22-year-old, sergeant, the male's got to get a certain time to get them 80 points, and she's got to have a lower time because her body's made different. Same with the sit-ups, though. That was reversed. Women's bodies right there in the hip flexors and all that, that's for birthing. So their muscles are stronger there than men. It's scientifically proven. So guess what? Women had a higher standard for the same 80 points when it came to sit-ups.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes, bro.
come on, there's certain things that you just have to have, and you can't be, like I said, you can't be a Steve and say I feel like playing, for Shirley and doing women's track or women's swimming, because once again, like you said, the lung capacity is bigger. There's more in there. There's a longer stride. The body's just made differently. You can't have that. That is an unfair advantage, and I'm so glad they're passing it and it's going through some courts right now because
But
that's crazy.
but hey, and Chris, I'm sorry, brother. I just have a personal question for you, and I know Donnie. He's got a daughter that does track and field, and fucking Donnie's eyes always opened up. He's always got that situational awareness. Where's that male? Trying to think he's a female. What do you foresee with yourself with your daughters, bro? That
I would tell my daughter if you lose to somebody that's a male, don't knock yourself. You still won. They had no right being competitive against you. To me, I got three daughters, 11, a 9, and a 2-month-old. In the process of that, I can't technically go to a restaurant and send my girls to a bathroom without confirming that there ain't somebody in the bathroom. To
But
me, I'm already kind of living it. It's not through the sports, but I'm
right,
already
right.
living it because, I got to go check out bathrooms. If
Well,
my kids get into sports, um, I think that, I think that what they're doing that Donnie brought up earlier is the right thing. Um, I don't think that I got a little bit confused on that. I'll admit it, Donnie. Now, they're not banning them from the arenas. They want to ban them from, let's say, Foxborough, but they'll ban them from the NFL. Going, you need to play the LGBTQT NFL, league. They're not
No,
banning
they're
them
doing
from
it
the
for
arena. Like, you can't even play your sport in this place,
no.
right?
Only thing they're banning is you're not going to compete against females at any level. They're not saying you
swallow,
can't compete in
Yeah.
sports. They can't say you can't go to arenas. That's
swallow
not the
that
question.
gummy.
Listen, you're
All
not going
right.
to compete
Now,
against
if they did
girls.
that, if they did that, that would be a little bit like, much banning them from the arena, but banning them from the sport because, they're men trying to, play against females. I'm sorry, like you say, our bodies are built different. Just look at the swimmer, you know, the dude's tall, lanky, compared to all the other females. Nobody has shoulders like that. Nobody has, you're doing the breaststroke, you're doing the backstroke. You got to think of his arms as, paddles. How much more power he's getting behind every stroke versus somebody with smaller arms
Yeah.
running. Men typically, like I've seen some tall ass females, You know, shit. What was that movie back in the day? That's one huge bitch. But I've seen some tall ass females, but at the same time, typically a man is taller. So in racing, that man's leg is gonna be longer, which he's gonna get more of a stride than a shorter leg. You know, I don't think it's fair. I definitely, if a woman comes in and beats a guy in weightlifting, you know, and she's a natural born woman and stuff, you know, okay, fine. I don't know, it's weird like that. Like that, okay, like that's pretty fucking impressive that you could outlift a man, you know. But when it comes to where your body is fully designed, like racing is your legs and it's your feet, you know. Where swimming, it's your length of your ligaments that allow you to propel in water. The guy that did it, I believe he was like 250 in the men's division, and now he's breaking records.
He was ranked as a male. That means with testicles and
Yeah,
a penis.
yeah.
Good sized penis. He's tall.
Hey, that don't mean shit. I see some pretty fucked up porns.
Anyways,
no, he was ranked in the nation in the NCAA at 462.
I knew it was some insane number. I just wasn't trying to, like, bury the guy.
He was straight up garbage dealing with males.
Yeah.
And now
he was a fucking Kaepernick.
Yes. But anyways, he's competing against females and he's getting all this glory. But I tell you what, man, these girls, they're not letting them. He's fighting for that, and that should be sad because he's not blowing them away by a length. You know what I mean? It's usually a half, or they're on his feet. You know, and as a male, I would even say, wow, you're weak, bro.
You can have all the muscles in the world, don't mean shit.
Yeah, but let's look at that swimmer. Do you honestly believe she? That's how.
Fucking dude, bro. Dude.
Whatever. That individual. Look at the notoriety and some stuff happened. You don't tell me that she got paid. He got paid. You know, that individual's gotten paid. There's money to be made. So even
especially when you're the first one.
Yep, that's money. That's money. Look, I'm the first one to go and do this and compete. I got my name out there and the lights. Yeah, that's money. And
his name is Leah. Later. His name is Leah Thomas, right?
Something like that. But there's money to be made. That's another motive.
Yeah, bro. No, I never looked at it that way. Yeah, good
call. Let's look at the money of the stuff too, because I read an article where LA has banned official business to Florida and Texas over their views and their laws when it comes to the LGBTQ plus, transgender whole community. So I'm like, are you serious? You're telling me that for hypothetical, I got a deal out with, say, company A in Austin, Texas. I'm company B in Los Angeles. This deal's going to net me, it's going to net the city an extra $100 million a year or something. You telling me because of official business, you wouldn't travel to do that and make that money? They're full of shit. They'd make that travel right away because the hypocrites they are. They'll make the money, but then they want to cry foul when they get what they want and it's not good enough. There's some stuff like that going on. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You're trying to ban official travel within the United States.
It's messed up, and it's really to see how much they could get away with. Like, to me, I don't know. I can never answer it. I try to be a respectable person. I try to dislike people for who they are. I don't really dig into what the race is, what their gender is, what their sexuality is. I really never cared about any of it. My issue with it right now is, to be frank, I just don't give a damn about them anymore. They had their little flag in the sky for their moment and stuff, but then they started all acting stupid. They couldn't have a parade without leaving. Sorry for the vulgar language, people. If you want, I'll mail you a box of scented tissues. But they had like dildos laying down on the ground. They left dildos there. They left pocket, I'm not saying that one. They left all this stuff for like vulgar stuff that was all over the ground. All like they had no respect whatsoever for the rest of the community while they were having their parades and they were coming out into the street. A guy wearing like a little like a friggin' COVID mask around his junk, the size of a COVID mask and shit around his junk. They had no care about kids there.
Chris,
People had no problem with grinding up and like pretty much stripping in the middle of the street and like doing sexual shit in front of children there. You know, they had no respect whatsoever.
No, and that's the point. And I'm glad you brought that up, man. And I'm just speaking off the head. In 50 years, it'll be normal to see a man receiving some type of oral sex at the bus stop as a normal thing.
I don't know about that.
That's how deteriorated our society's getting. I'm serious, man.
I agree, but if that was the case, it would be normal by now to see a prostitute getting banged at a bus stop.
Nope. I think the way we as a race, a human race, not a color race, a human race, I think we're just losing all our morals and our values of what we used to hold high, just dwindling down, man.
I blame the church. I blame the church.
Let
me explain.
Which church? There's a bunch of them. Which one?
I would more say like the Catholic Church.
Why?
Because of all the stuff that they're doing between the 1980s, taking the pedophile priests and moving them around and shit and then hiding them. The way that they've used the Bible more as a weapon and a tool for control, and the stuff that some of the, like, I'm not saying all the churches, you know, I'm talking about the corrupt ones, you know, the ones that are like doing it just so they could have that mansion up on the hill. You know, I'm not talking about all churches here either, you know, but the way that they done their stuff, it's pushed away people. But the Bible once taught people morals. It once taught people values. Without having that kind of book there to be sitting there and teaching us, you know, right from wrong and stuff, that's where I think the more religion goes out the window, because I'm a Protestant. I don't do church to begin with. I believe in God, you know, but at the same time, when it comes to the church has used it for so much corruption that people don't even want to listen to it anymore. Remember what they said, how the devil was going to come to us.
Hey, look, brother, I feel the discourse you have for the Catholic Church, and I do as well. Being well versed in religions, traveling around the country and the world, the Catholic religion is hard to follow. And why do you want to always get beat down? And you go to these other religions, you know, and they're just forgiving and welcoming, you know, and do better. And that's what drives me crazy on this whole religion thing, you know, especially with the Catholic Church.
No, I can't buy the church being the ones. Pedophiles are pedophiles. They're in every gender, race, everywhere. If we want to talk about why we're failing, let's talk about how we are as parents, because then we teach the next generation. We're supposed to teach them, right?
Right.
That's 100% right there.
What are we doing on schools? Because now we've turned away from, hey, let's history, math, English. You're taking it 3-4 years in high school. You got schools in Illinois. I remember, if it's Illinois, if I'm right, and I know some schools out in Oregon, you don't have to pass your classes to graduate. You don't have to have a certain amount of credits or anything. You just got to do 4 years.
Yeah, look at Blaze.
Grades don't matter at that point.
He did 4 years in Massachusetts.
Oregon just passed it 2 years ago that you don't need to know math for the major studies in order to graduate.
You know why they're saying that, right?
because they're
Why
behind.
are they
Everybody's
saying it, or why are
behind.
they doing it?
No, they wanted to say them hard subjects were. I'm looking for the right word here, and it's not that I'm afraid of getting in trouble. I don't hold no.
Condescending,
No, bro.
like
What the?
the hard classes made some of them feel like they were dumb
Yes,
type
yes,
deal.
yes. And
Okay.
there were a color-based
Snowflaking?
scheme too. No, a color-based scheme too.
Yep.
You know,
So
that math was too hard for a certain color of our race.
yeah,
And I just find that bullshit.
no,
Shit.
it is bullshit. So you use, and this is my thing about racism and stuff. Oh, it's reverse racism. Oh, it's this kind of racism is racism. Just because you put the adjective in front of it doesn't change it. Doesn't change it. It's still racism. Whether it's white on black, black on white, because that's why I was looking for the prop earlier with the box of Crayolas. Go look at a box of Crayolas of 8 in Walmart or wherever, and you'll see black, brown, blue, green, red, and white. Red, those are the 8 basic colors. White's in there too. It's not the color you like, maybe, or black's not the color you like this month, or brown's not the color you like this month, or if you put them all together and say that's the rainbow community, well, then the rainbow community doesn't like it this month. When we're making laws, we're passing policies to cater to one group. That's why we're all effed up like we are.
But
So
it
we
ain't
cater to
even
one group.
catering. It ain't even catering to one group. Just for example, you know, I never gave a shit that she changed, that he went into a female. I can't really remember his name or anything, but the father of the Kardashians,
Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah,
Caitlyn.
whatever.
right?
It was Bruce.
She is utmost against transgenders going into other sports, going into female sports. Now, this is an Olympic athlete. She's 100% against it. So I want to say it's like just giving they're also going to go with what you're saying too. Yeah, they're pleasing maybe about 60%, of the LBG community by making it okay for it to happen. But they're also upsetting a lot of LBGQ people that don't think that it is fair that they're going in there and taking awards from females. At least that's what I just think. But Caitlyn Jenner is 100% against a transgender going into female sports.
And on FFN Radio Network, we do a lot of surveys, a lot of promos and stuff. And our latest promo is the Tinder Man of the Month.
Ooh.
I present that to Blaze.
Name is here.
Blaze, you got a lot of Tinder hits from Caitlyn.
Oh, he's a dumbass. I knew he was going that way. Oh no, Lord.
Oh, shit.
It went that way. No, but
I bet he's getting up. Babe, get me my medicine.
yeah, he probably is.
It's all
But-
good.
Let's take deeper. Let's get deeper into this. You're making policies at school levels and every other level to do that. Just when are we gonna stop catering and make it blank for everybody? Because as we go through and make all these laws, we're just making ourselves weaker and weaker and weaker, and it's just more and more that it opens up to lawsuits, and it's just frivolous waste of monies and everything.
Yeah, man.
What the hell?
Yep.
Y'all frozen?
Hey,
No.
do we have an
Oh,
update on Brittany, the girl that got caught in Russia with hashish oil?
Oh, I don't know. I heard she was still being held.
I bet
There's a
she'll
lot of
never.
people trying to get her out.
I bet she'll never kneel down again when the Star Spangled Banner is played.
So why is it important that
why
she
would
got
that
caught
go
in
that way?
heckle? Yeah, well,
Why would you
But-
go that way? That has nothing to do with the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah, it does. She dropped to her knees a lot. She dropped to her knees a lot during the
Who?
Star Spangled Banner.
Okay,
That-
that was
That
for the
Britney
whole.
chick.
Yeah, Brittany Griner. Yeah, okay. She dropped to her knee, did the protesting thing while she played in the States, while she's in Russia. But her getting out of Russia, I don't know. I'm half tempted to say, is it a political plea? Did she really have that? Was it something Putin's wanting to do? I mean, I could see that, but
You
if she
really
had that
do?
hashish,
Do you think she got set up?
I don't
Oh.
know. Because if she's using CBD oil and all that, I mean, she's using it for pain or something. Because they got all that now. It ain't just in the United States, you know. They got it. Some people swear it works, but sometimes, just like any other tourist, they come, they don't know the rules for where they're at, and then they, you know, especially when it comes
No,
to that
Donnie.
stuff.
No, Donnie. She's been there for 5 years.
Exactly. That's why
She's
I'm
been there
saying
for
I don't
5
know.
years.
I
She's
don't
been there
know,
for
but
5 years. Yeah, I'll tell you what the problem is. See, in Russia, there's no Black Lives Matter, no LGBTQ rights. You know, you just do what the
Right.
fuck you're told.
right, and that's where it says. Just remember all that. I don't know. You did a lot of time in Europe, Korea, whatever. I did mine in the Middle East.
Hey,
They,
calm
they
down. Hey, calm down, fool. You
whatever,
don't
man.
get
Shut
all
up.
violent with me.
We're not getting violent. Shut up.
I'm gonna play my
Shut up.
viola, man, for you. Look at my
Shut up.
screen.
Shut up.
That's me, bro.
Anyways, like,
Roses and
yeah,
mouth.
go play your Bendero, man. Go try to be a mariachi. When you go to, you're an American, you go to a foreign country, you might want to know the rules, and you might want to act accordingly, because the same rights and everything you have in the United States, you don't have in them foreign countries. I don't care what you do, whether you're a tourist, whether you work there, whatever. You don't have the same rights.
Unless,
You're
newsflash, viewers, pick out a pen and pencil. It's called the sofa.
okay.
Status
So-
of no, I'm serious. No, it's status of forces agreement. Yes.
Right.
Now, when the United States gets involved with countries, that's the first. Well, dealing with the military, that's the first thing they look to secure is a sofa. They can secure that sofa. It's on.
Yeah, that's for military type of stuff.
Yeah.
They're not doing that for normal American citizens.
Yes.
don't do
Okay,
that,
so
so-
we're
No,
gonna
no.
we're gonna have to take a break in a couple of minutes, but I just wanted to get this in. If anybody is wondering, it's Brittany Greer of the WNBA Phoenix Mercury. So really, what happened is she was going to Russia from New York, and they found a vape cartridge in her bag when she got to Russia. So it could have been an accident, but to me, I think it was a setup. But we have to take a
No,
break.
I
right
don't.
now.
I don't think it's a setup.
No, I
Nope.
think it's a political setup because it's increasing the
Look, and I'll leave it like this.
it's helping the invasion of Ukraine.
I live real close to the Mexican border, and I see this big sign all the time: entry to Mexico, Mexican law, handgun, jail time. Do you think I
Yep.
bring my handgun to fucking Mexico?
She
No,
definitely knew
because
it
I
shouldn't
saw
have
the
been in the
rule.
bag.
I saw the rule.
Mm.
Tamaño, I've spoken.
Alrighty.
You going to break, bro?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, brother. Get a little wind up here. Don, are you there? He walked off.
Alrighty, people. I apologize for that. I was trying to get this set up. I don't know how to switch over the audio before. I used to just take the headphones and put it on the mic. So listen, hey, you having trouble moving? You need help moving? You know, your landlord being a butthole? You know, hey, Motivated Movers out of Fall River, 508-840 4657. Hey, go check them out. Have a friend that's moving. You want to move, you know. Hey, you want to give the dude a hint next door that his ass needs to move? Call him up. Tell him like, hey, come here, move these people. So I'm pretty sure they won't do that though. And then we got A&J Auto Repairs and Reconditioning at 67 K Street, 508-375-1076. A&J, hey, it's the only way. So I think these guys thought that, you know, it's going to be a little bit. I wish I could.
I ain't never been inside a place like this right now. It's like I'm inside out. Yeah, I feel my eyes bulge out. I hit up like stand shout out. Because I finally get to be myself. It's like a gravitational push. On the grind for the kush, like a fire in the bush. I burn 10 feet tall to the sky and I'm ready to cook. I'm on a mission for the greatest. I write bars with the cadence. This pen is like a claw and I can't stop it from tearing the pages. This is one for the ages. Pan was a sadist, but his crime never betrayed us. And now I'm levitating like a weightless. And all the lost boys are currently hating, debating whether or not I can be stopped to be tamed and put in cages. But I'm gonna drag them all down like stay down below in your negative high rise. Find the answer behind your own eyes. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's all a surprise. Back it up sideways. It's time to revise. Open skies, open mind. Remember, open skies, open mind. Always look to the future. Leave it all. Always I say welcome to Never Never Land. There's no getting out. Never let you leave. Make your decision. There's no looking back. Be myself. Be myself. Never, never
Alrighty. We are back.
Yes, sir.
So last half hour we talked about the LBGQ, WZ, YNZ. Nobody gives a shit about you. So, do you have anything left to say, or would you like to move on to something else? Which, by the way, people, this is Faco filling in for Blazeman, and to the left or right of me is D, and to the other left or right of me is Donald.
Oh, I'm good on the LGBTQ. If you guys want to move on to the inflation or the Rooney Rule.
Well, you want to go with the Rooney Rule because I think it also kind of falls into the, go with the LBG and then go with the
Yes,
affirmative
yes.
action.
You're right, brother.
Once again, the average Joe ain't getting a fair shot. So if you want to go into the Rooney Rule,
we'll go into that because that definitely goes in for me. I mean, here we got another just major corporation, a global figure, and they're making policy based off sex and color of skin. That sounds like you're breaking all kinds of, Title IX, equality type laws. You're breaking discrimination laws to me. I mean, Rooney, the guy that originally started this, that was with the Steelers back in the day, the way I understand it, the way I read up on it, that dude was all about, hey, who's the best person for the job? He didn't care about color of skin. He didn't care whether he's male, female. He just wanted the best coaches, the best players, the best staff, everybody in the organization because he wanted to build that Pittsburgh Steelers just giant conglomerate that it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the rule was put in place. But now it's a joke. And now, so get his name off it and just call it equality rules because that's what it is. But now you're dictating staff. What's next? You're going to dictate executives, people in the front office.
That's already been done.
You're going to dictate ownership. And here's the thing about a coach or a player. Take who's a player that switched systems and went right away. No, I said Tom Brady. No,
Brady.
Not Tom Brady. Nah, not Tom Brady. But they were just complete, utter garbage. But then they switched teams and they got in the right system and they were just great. There's a lot of players like that. So we're crying about it's not equal, it's not about the same amount of colored players. Well, because it depends on what that team does, the schemes they run, who they're looking for, what kind of personnel group they want. You take Florida State back in the day, Bobby Bowden, his defense was fast. That's what the kind of players he recruited. He wasn't worried about whether they were black or white. He was worried about fast players that would get to the ball quick. He wasn't worried about being all big and being able to bull you over. That's what happens in sports. And you dictate about coaches and everything else, organizations, I'm an owner, I got a certain amount of time in the off season. And then my season starts. So I need a coach. And if Eric Bieniemy is a great example of this. He coaches a great team in Kansas City. He's part of a great team that's in the playoffs, deep playoff runs. So I'm pretty sure he's probably missed out on a head coaching job because he was still at work. It wasn't the off season. So them owners got to have somebody in place to start the programs, to get the off-season workouts in, to get the ball rolling, to get the playbooks in, to get the staff in. They just can't, as great as these players are at this professional level, they just can't walk into a system and voila, I'm still going to produce greatness. There's chemistry involved with other players. There's a lot of things that go involved. So for you to go and dictate staff at this point, I think you're just going too far and you're breaking laws, but it's okay because it meets our agenda, the current agenda, or for lawmakers, it's okay because it buys me a vote. So that's how we make policy. That's how we make law. And we're going to I just think it leads entirely too far. It goes just asinine that we're creating stuff that before we say it breaks the law. So we're just being hypocrites amongst ourselves.
Yes, sir. No, man. I totally agree with you, man. And I'm trying to look for another step higher that I want to go without hurting anyone's feelings.
I can go a step higher.
Yeah,
We said it on the previous show. The
that is,
Supreme Court justice that just got nominated.
yeah,
He did the same thing there.
yeah,
That's our president doing it.
yeah.
And that's our leadership at the Congress level doing it. Now, nothing against Miss Brown. I don't know. That lady knows more about what she's doing than I will ever will. So I'm not doubting her skills or her as a person. I'm just talking about the actual process of we just break rules. We go on the gray area, and it's okay because it's meeting an objective and it's buying a vote. I mean, you expect our country to survive, and we're going to be great. That doesn't make sense to me. That just seems like two opposite ends of the spectrum. But that's our leadership.
Yeah,
So-
and you know her again. I wish she would have came in as a Supreme Court nominee. Not, yeah, and I still would have supported her. You know, through
Yeah.
the committee and the vote.
What's
But-
the play on words?
Yeah.
But
But-
that was for votes.
Yes, man. Yeah, he made that promise out there in the campaign
Yeah.
trail. And he
Yeah.
was with Jim Clyburn, I believe it was, and he made that shit in South Carolina. Because don't forget, Jim Clyburn, the guy out of South Carolina, he's the one that motivated all the black voters. He's got a large base, man.
Right. Right.
So
Oh yeah, he's got a large base, but my thing is, oh, it's okay. You just made policy on what is borderline discrimination and sex, gender type discrimination. I mean, you can't show that's the example. So now Congress and any other lawmaker, state, county, everywhere else, they see that example and it's like, hey, why can't we do it? And then
Yeah,
everybody
no.
will vote. And then we just make stuff that does no benefit to the general public, no benefit to our nation. It hurts us more than it helps us. And we're over here wondering why it's all going to hell. That's part of the reason why.
And that will lead up to our last segment is inflation.
right.
I mean,
So
Is inflation.
go
so
ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
right now, I got some stuff on this. Huge shout out to D for throwing out some of the topics yesterday and giving me a chance to look into a couple of things. So I had some questions. I looked up some stuff and I wanted to ask you your opinions. I wanted to ask the panel their opinions one at a time. If you guys don't mind. So begin. How would you feel if you were told? Now remember, this already happened once in history. But how would you feel if you were told that you had to train somebody and it pretty much is somebody that is going to be going for your job or somebody else's job, which might not even be qualified to go after that job, but is now being given the chance to qualify to go after that job because the door was just open. Donnie, how would you feel if you had to train somebody that you knew was going to be going for your job, even though they weren't qualified to have your job?
That's what I learned in 20 years of the service. That was part of your job as a leader, is to train your
Yeah.
replacement. So,
Yeah,
now in
but
the
there's a
civilian world-
difference.
huh?
There will be a difference there.
Yeah.
When you're
now
in
in
the
civilian
service,
world-
it's kind of your
Yeah.
obligation. It's your job to teach
Right,
the
so-
younger to excel. You don't want
Right.
them to die. There
Right.
is kind of a difference between what the Army did for you and taught you, and then, this situation where it's, once again, you just have no choice over the matter, even though you should be able to choose who you think is qualified to be under you.
Yeah, that I don't know if that would be. I don't know if I can handle that. I'm not sure. I've kind of bounced around the jobs as it is because I kind of have really not found a place. You know what I mean? So
My
I don't think
strongest
so.
finger's my
And I
middle
know some of the places I did work, it's like that dumbass is in charge of me. Are you serious? Or I gotta work with. Oh man, I gotta work with that dude. And vice versa, it's probably been said about me, like, damn, I gotta work with Donald, his crazy ass.
No, it's not Donald. It's Captain PTSD.
Right,
Captain for short.
I gotta work with the captain. Shit, he's crazy. They probably said it about me. It's a hard thing to do. I think that would be a hard thing to do. I gotta replace you simply because, and if you knew exactly, they got that job simply because of equality rights or equality
Stand
movement,
out.
yeah, that would be so hard. That would be so difficult because I'd have so much attitude. Because I'd just be like, you didn't even earn this. You don't even call it. You know what I mean? You need to earn that. And
See,
it's like,
told you.
damn,
Differences.
yeah, that's,
Everything can't be compared to something else. So, D,
Yes.
with
like to
knowing
answer
what the military has taught you and how this is a different situation,
No.
to it, what would be your response?
Well, I'm looking hard for a response because I worked for a good company before I got out, retired, and I consider myself a stellar guy. I'm not an expert. Um,
Interstellar, maybe.
no, but I'm serious, man. I'm talking about work now, work here, and I I've lost many of promotions or advancements due to the fact I do not drink alcohol anymore. And
You
and
don't
and I
mingle.
yeah, and I've seen this with with the company I was at. You could have less in your toolbox, but as long as you can whip out that kegerator, you're good to go, and you're going to advance, man.
Politics. It's called playing
Yeah, but
politics.
no, but I feel it's this Romney rule too, man. This Rooney rule. I don't know why Mitt Romney. That's why I always got him. That's why I always got Romney in.
It's a
Um,
Christmas tree.
no, Chris, and I'm serious, man. I felt that I got discriminated because I didn't drink alcohol, but I could do the same job and probably better than the next guy that's going up for advancement on that. But due to the fact I don't drink Budweiser anymore, I'm left at another field.
Because you're not going in, like, people feel uncomfortable around you. Nobody wants to be the drunk around the sober guy, but nobody really wants, even
Eh,
the sober guy don't want to go around a bunch of drunks.
no,
I wouldn't say I'm clean, but I quit drinking like years ago when I had my daughter. Besides like the occasional beers here and there, I don't drink anything where I used to be, and I can tell you right now, I don't like being around people that drink and stuff. If I have a chance, if there's a barbecue and people are gonna be drinking and stuff, depending on who's there, which it never winds up being the case, I'm with you. I lost a lot of
friends.
communication. I wouldn't even
Yeah,
say friends. I'm sure if I still called them up and was like, "Hey, yo, what's up? You want to go like bowling?"
yeah.
I'm sure they'll be like, "Oh, hell yeah." I'll just say communication. I lost more communication with people and interactions. What it sounds like you're saying is politics, office politics. I've been
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
wrong side of that multiple times. People,
But
I'm not
hold
really that PC.
well, hold up. This Rooney Rule, that's politics. If you look at it,
It's 100% politics on multiple levels.
you know. So,
Friggin' affirmative
so
action has always been a political move. And right now, we're beginning this season. They have altered this multiple times. Beginning this season, all 32 clubs must employ a female or a member of ethnic or racial minority to serve as an offensive assistant coach. Like that's 100% like politics and Democrat politics to boot. That it specifically has to be designed so it's like no white guy. If you're a white guy, it's not for you. It doesn't say white women, black women. It doesn't put a thing on women, but it also says ethnic or racial minorities to
hey,
put all other race of men in there. That's 100% political.
hey, but 30 years ago, you wouldn't see a black man, as a potential. You wouldn't even hear that in the same sentence. A black man being a head coach for an NFL 30 years ago. Look at that. 89. 89.
Yeah.
You went all the way back to 89. Yeah, so
And
no, is
that
the
would be
left.
30 years, partner.
Yep. Eh, so the field is a little more level now, And I just feel they're trying to gain a little more advantage. Am I right, Donnie? Donnie?
He might have stepped away.
No,
So,
he has problems sometimes.
uh,
Drop
just
off,
keep it
Donnie. Come
rolling.
back on. Yes, sir.
All right. So for the first year of the contract, for the first 2 years, they're gonna have their contract paid by the league.
Right.
So not like their money is already going to be guaranteed. If they don't stay, the league will still pay them versus the team that could say, no, you're good. It's kind of what happened with WCW and Kevin Nash and Scott Hall.
What the hell's this WCW?
WCW.
Wrestling?
Yeah.
Okay.
They still had the same thing. They still had contracts. They still had, the thing that they wrestled for, and they wound up getting paid by Time Warner that owned WCW. So when WCW got bought out, Kevin Nash and all the top name guys were still receiving their paychecks because their paychecks were coming from Time Warner, not the company. So
And instead of the Rooney Rule, the NFL needs to worry about. They need to worry about a pension plan for these guys. and I'm serious. Yeah, they get all these millions and they blow it, and they get out at 40. Broke as shit, probably selling chemicals on a military base, just looking at extra money. The face contact. Hey, this guy played football. But anyways. But the NFL is such a money-making machine. Why can't they take care of these guys, regardless how much they made? Regardless. Chris?
I don't know. I would assume that they kind of have some policies out there for them.
Nah, but you'll always hear these older NFL guys talking about, getting a little something back from the league. What do they do? Drop them a $250 a month check?
So they do have a pension plan. It's
Yeah.
called the Burt Bell Pete Rizzoli NFL Player Retirement Plan. It's been around since 1962.
I think they give chump change, man.
Oh, I wouldn't imagine. I would imagine that they would give chump change. Like you said, they're paying these people so good. Like, they're the ones that are going out and spending it. Now, I got a question. Is an NFL player considered 1099?
You talking for income?
Well, yeah, they consider independent contractors.
Yes. Yes.
So that's pretty much the NFL doesn't even have to do anything for them because they work for themselves. That's usually how they get around doing these particular things.
Yeah, but
that's by little things like that.
How can you treat your dude? We're over here just talking about leveling the playing field, and I'm looking. Hi, Donnie.
What's up?
No, we jumped from the Rooney Rule, talking about a level playing field now, and then and I'm looking, instead of the Rooney Rule, they need to improve their pension plan for these players that get out when they're 30. Yeah, they made millions, but they're broke. They spent it stupid. But what does the NFL do for them later? These dudes have been through battle for our entertainment, man. Look at Earl Campbell, running back. He doesn't even walk anymore. I think he's in his late 60s. He's been in a wheelchair since he's left the league. He's got a sausage company here in Texas. Not bad.
Yeah. Hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, I just don't like the fact that they're dictating staff now. You're telling the owner, that's almost as bad as when they came back with, they were talking about doing compensatory picks, extra picks in the draft when you were hiring, because you have someone of an ethnic group, certain ethnic group or gender on your staff or stuff. They're going to do that. So once again, it's just how can you make that policy? Know you're discriminating, knowing you're breaking the law, but as a society, we're like, it's all right. It meets our agenda.
So the old
We're
rule.
not.
No, go ahead, Donnie. No, I'm
No,
sorry.
we're saying,
I
oh,
won't
it's all
forget
right
this.
because it meets the agenda. It's all right for one certain group of people, right? It meets their agenda. They're happy with it. But that's how we make policy now, and it's just boggles my mind that it's just, you see how it's trickling down, and look at how this is going to trickle against other sports. Because if it works in the NFL, then it'll trickle over into the NBA, or it'll trickle over into hockey. It'll trickle over into, other sports at other levels. And this just grows a dictatorship. It goes right into socialism. That's exactly where half our democratic leadership want to push us anyway.
Well, that's where we're going, and it's going to lead us again to our later segment on inflation. If people, and I'll say it right now, look at inflation, people. Get used to it. That's what socialism looks like.
Yeah.
That's what socialism looks like.
Oh, hell yeah. That's right up their alley. Where everything's government mandated. And then little by little, we'll be like Australia, where you can't own a gun. You can't have a knife. Then they're going to be like, well, okay, now you're going to do this field of, study. Start mandating what kind of field of study. It can go a long ways. Because there's other countries in this world that still do that kind of stuff.
Hey, Australia. Sorry, I get confused with Austria, which is part of Europe. It's a country below Germany, and then you got Australia, the country. I'm there, Donnie. Shit,
yeah.
Let me just refresh in our memory on Australia's immigration rules. If you're a carpenter and they're looking for a painter that month, you ain't coming in the country. You is not coming in that country. It's all labor sector driven. All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. That's racist.
Well, that's discriminatory, maybe. I mean, but I understand where they're going with it. Why am I going to let you come into my country, get paid, and send it somewhere else, not spend it within my country? You can't knock them for that.
Boy, that Senate run that we're doing for you, Donnie, it's going to pay off, bud. You're starting to talk like them. Yes, sir. Senator Donald Barr. Ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Don't worry about the skeletons in your closet. I'll clean them out. I'll have Blaze clean them out.
Yeah, okay. No, not happening.
Hey, Chris, me and Donnie's a little spent for this hour. We ready for a commercial, brother?
Chris.
I think he's doing it.
Alrighty, so we're gonna be sorry, I was trying to get set up for the commercial break coming up, guys. Didn't mean to be rude. Were you asking something, Donnie, or?
No, we were
going to go to a commercial break right now.
Yeah, we wanted to close out this segment.
Alrighty.
That's a proper term, right?
Yeah. So, hey, everybody, we're going to take a small commercial break. I'm going to try this. I hope it works to get this stuff set up so you could hear some music while we're going. When we come back, I guess we'll be discussing the inflation. With that being said, first, let me read off this. Motivated Movers at 508-840-4657. Hey, you need to move. You want your neighbor to move, go down to their office, grab a business card, drop it off in your neighbor's box, kind of give them a hint, show the company some love. They're doing hard work. And remember, A&J Auto Repairs and Reconditioning at 67 K Street. Phone number would be 508-375-1076. And A&J is the only way. Now stay tuned for a little bit of music. We shall be back in a couple of minutes.
Tomorrow I'm going bike riding, dirt bike riding with Dini and Junior. Oh yeah, you didn't hear that part, babe. Yeah, sorry.
Alrighty, people. Hey, I'm sorry, I can't get this music to show up. I can't get it to go through.
That's all right.
Hey, where's he going now?
He's looking for the capacitor on the resistor coming
Yeah,
out of the box.
Yeah. I just can't find the flux.
No, he's
Okay,
not.
yeah. Your flux capacitor, you can't find it.
Hey, so just a little friendly reminder, FFN radio stands for Far From Normal. So viewers, that's what you get. It's Far From Normal. Yeah, man.
Oh, fix nearly nothing.
Yeah.
So
Wow, far from normal. Now we're not normal. Wow.
Are you back with us, Chris? Did you find the flux?
yeah,
Good deal.
I got 3 monitors in front of me and stuff, and I was using one of them to interact to see if there was audio coming through. And yeah, found out audio was coming through when I talked through the mic. Okay. So, hey guys, we have discussed the Rooney Act moments ago. We have discussed the LBG and, being allowed to, compete in opposite sports. I believe you said it was Philadelphia, Donnie, that put the ban, that said that they can't play in the sports anymore, which I can speak for myself. Good, glad. Think women should be having a say.
Hey, but let's not forget about them parents in Philadelphia. The father was a swimmer in college. The mother was a swimmer in college. They competed at different gender levels, and now here you are. You're raising these three girls as wholesome girls. You got them into swim meets since the age of 5. And you're just working these girls, and they're going to University of Penn, a great school in Pennsylvania. And then here you are as a mom and dad, and you're here with your daughter, and you went through all that hard work to get her where she's at, an NCAA female athlete. You're in the stands, and then this dude comes up on the second petition to ready to jump in the water. Let's not forget about them parents. We're just on the sidelines here looking at this shit.
I got a better one for you. Take that exact scenario that you just said. Take that exact scenario you just said. Just change one thing. The one that wasn't able to get into college because that transgender just took her scholarship.
Yeah.
And now those parents don't even get to be in the stands with their children because their children had to go to a community college because that's what the parents could afford, even though that she was well qualified to get that scholarship.
Because trust me, these college athletes that we see today, and that's going to go into professional sports, guess what? The parents had a lot to do with it. The parents did.
Dedication
they woke up on them Saturday mornings, take them to Tom Brady football camp here in El Paso, $800 a ticket just to learn how to fucking go hut. But you went to the Tom Brady camp. Oh, shit, there's another one coming. Aaron Jones running back camp. Hey, son, you're going to that. And the point I'm trying to make, America still makes good core unit families with good morals and values. And we just need to learn how to get rid of these fucking people, man, that is trying to destroy us.
All right. I was going to go lead into another conversation, but I want to respond to that because I have a nuclear family and I'm friggin' proud of it. I've worked real hard to keep this nuclear family. For you people that don't know what a nuclear family is, a nuclear family consists of the father and the mother and the kids in one household. It's really the mother and father that make it, a nuclear family. I don't know if they were wise asses, like, they're about to explode or whatever. So just give you a little thing and y'all remember me. If you remember me, you're about to get some fucking story that you're going to go, what the fuck? But, we had my wife's friend over here the other night and she's a pansexual. Okay, cool.
Time out. Freeze.
Hold on, let me finish.
Pump the brakes. What's a pansexual?
Let me finish. Okay. For you people that don't know what a pansexual is, say 1 second. That was all I was going to take. All right. For you people that don't know, go look up Kumo's daughter. She's a pansexual, of course. All right. So a pansexual is somebody that ain't in love with you because you're black. A pansexual is somebody that ain't in love with you because you're white. Ain't in love with you because you're a guy. Ain't in love with you because you're a girl. Okay. So they can have do romantic things without going and wanting sex from each other. Right now, technically, if you break it down, us 3 men that are completely heterosexual, I believe. I'm not assuming anything there, D.
I did 24 years in the Army. You can gauge it from there.
We could all go out and have breakfast together. We could go watch a movie together. To us, it's just us hanging out and having a good time.
Roger.
To a pansexual, it's supposed to be a romantic moment that we're going out and eating dinner together. We're going to watch a movie together. I'll keep it PG with the rest of it, but for you parents out there, you usually know what comes next. So that's a pansexual.
Whoa, Chris, I am so proud of you, boy. If I had a bucket of medals, you'd get the top one. Donnie,
because it's the fucking easiest to give out. Yep. So hold on a second. So this girl was over my house, and I really don't care that you're a pansexual. And being a pansexual is just being a damn good person. You shouldn't want to fuck everybody that you see. That makes you a whore. We used to have, meetings back in the day for people like that.
Yeah, Blaze is a whore now on Tinder.
So, like I said, don't call me that. And she was like, "Why? You don't even know what it is?" I was like, "Yeah, I do know what the hell it is. Don't call me. I'm not that. I'm a good person. The only title I need is the one that I have, and that's dad." Well, all of a sudden, this pansexual decides that now I'm going to make it this PG as well. I am a rooster sucker. I am the British word for a cigarette.
Ah,
I like putting phallus-shaped things in my rectum. Now, this is supposed to be somebody who's fighting for the LGB, and I'm supposed to be the, gay basher. I don't like gays. I don't like this, just because I didn't want to be called a pansexual. So, once I told her it, and this also involves what you were talking about earlier, D, where the alcohol. Because I don't drink. I really don't drink anymore. And I'm especially not just going to drink one nip. I don't think it's in my power to drink one nip. Once I drink that nip, I'm going to want to chase it down with about 14 more nips. And if people don't know what a nip is, because you're not from New England, it's those little tiny shot bottles that you get at the front counter. That's what we call nips.
and you put pasties over them nips.
Yeah. So I told her, no, I don't drink. That pissed her off. She thought I was like acting better than her, not realizing that I got my own fucking demons that I try to battle with. Because hell yeah, I want to drink. Is it the smartest decision? No. Do I want to not be in jail so I could be here for my kids? Yes. So that started an argument too, as we were talking about alcohol earlier. So she blew up. She went completely fucking psycho. She was like batshit crazy. I got videos up on Crispy Faco, people, if you want to go see like the shit. This girl was so fucking gone. She tried breaking a window with a rubber tire.
Hey, no promos for your show on the Blaze Man show. I mean, correction.
My stuff doesn't involve Crispy Faco. Crispy Faco is originally part of FFN until he takes it down from the main fucking website. He has to take it down from the main website.
Donnie, what you got,
as long
bro?
as it says it there, I can say Crispy Faco.
Whatever, man.
So
yeah, Donnie, you had something.
No, you guys just babbling on, man. Whatever. Yeah. When you got a serious point, let's talk, man.
All right, so let's go to inflation.
All right, so let's go. Yeah, let's go here. Sorry, I thought we were supposed to have a little bit of humor around here. So anyway, let me ask you this. Inflation. Let me speak on this for a little bit because I got a chart right here of just the price of eggs since 1980. Now, the average price of eggs right now in 2022 is $2.05 as of March compared to $1.05, $1.01 in February. Right now, looking at this chart, the last time that eggs was $2 was back in 2014. And I'm pretty sure that, somebody else was president then and somebody was vice president, just saying, coincidental. And then in 2008, 2019, it was down to like $1.40. Now we're back at $2.05. I personally believe I could say who's to blame for, this inflation because, decisions that are being made affect everything. You can't not make a decision and expect that it's not going to have a ripple effect on something else.
Hey, Chris, you missed the mic on FFN radio, don't you?
No,
yeah,
I got them. No, stop it. We just upset at him for me, like even saying Faco.
Yeah.
Stop. I got my
Hey,
own thing
no.
going on.
So no, me
Remember,
and
people,
Don.
this is only temporary. Once Blazeman is healed up, I will be stepping back aside. We've already had that discussion.
Yep. Yep. So I think Blaze Man is ready to put the cape on. We'll call him 100%. Until he can't put the cape on, he's not 100%.
But until
Yeah.
then, I will enjoy my time talking to you fellas and
sir.
getting your opinions on world events and
All
stuff.
right. All right, Chris. So me and Donnie's going to hammer it right now. Inflation,
See
man.
what you got.
Inflation. Come on, Donnie. Let's go. Give
Well,
me some.
you had the thing. Go for it, man. What do you want to know? Half of it's policy, half of it's business, half of it's creation. We do it to ourselves. I mean, or thirds and thirds and thirds. Because you can't tell me that consumers business owners, we talked about it before. I'm a business owner and I'm in the car industry, transportation industry. I better be figuring out how to get electric because that's the route it's going, and it's mandated, on certain types of vehicles like federal vehicles. Chevy, GM just came out and said they're going electric. So somebody's got to build new facilities, new supplies, new marketing avenues, all that stuff. Well, if I'm a business owner, I'm going to start raising my prices a little bit so I can start collecting that money.
And I wanted to jump on this part. The government, we had a stable workforce before COVID. I mean, people were still working, doing their shit. COVID came. This work at the home thing made Americans lazy. What made Americans even more lazier is when they started giving out checks, man. So I'm a business owner, and I make, let me see, I make Dove milk chocolate, not Hershey's milk chocolate, but Dove. I'm in the boardroom and I'm thinking, Biden's going to give him a lot of extra money. I need to jack up the prices.
Yeah.
But I don't think the American people see it that way, Donnie, and
No.
that's what we need to profess on this show, man. The cause and effect,
Right.
and people don't want to see it that way.
No, because it doesn't meet an agenda. But you're right. Free to, maybe numbers 1, 2, and 3 over there are not free to us here, A, B, and C, because A, B, and C are getting taxed because they're working to pay for that. And then it's just become so easy for our leadership, and it's not Republican, Democrat. I'm saying across the board, let's raise the debt ceiling. Let's raise the debt ceiling. Let's issue more debt, more public debt, so other nations can buy it, so we can finance, i.e., said stimulus package. They funded a lot of that money that went out by securing more debt, issuing more bonds, to where Japan is now, and this is what I got from Investopedia.com today. It was dated 30 March 2022. Japan, 1.3 trillion of our public debt, almost 18%. China, 1.1 trillion. That's 15%. UK, they got another 610 billion. That's like 9%. And then you got Luxembourg and Ireland. Those are the top 5 at 5% of our economy. Our public debt that we issue out. That's how many countries own us. And,
well, China,
we just keep borrowing money. We're not worried about paying it back because we have less coming in than what we got going out. I mean,
yes.
How can we operate like that?
No, but the average person that's getting a stimulus check doesn't see it that way.
No.
I'm being honest.
No.
And what incentive, and we all know this, Donnie, and we've talked about this even when Chris B was on the show. All this, why are you going to work for $2,000 a week when the government's, and these numbers are fictitious, $3,000? Why?
No.
Why? Why would you?
There's no sense in working like that. I talked to a guy when I was starting to drive Amazon, and he said the same thing. That's why he went back to driving private with Amazon. He flat out said, he's like, dude, nobody was checking. I was getting 400 a week, 300 a month. 300 a week, something like that. He was getting that kind of money, and he was at home. He's like, why go to work when the government's going to give me that? Plus the PPP extra money. So yeah, he was making about $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
And he was at home. He's like, you calculated out the guy would have to make like 18 an hour to make that. So why would I stay at home? I totally agree with them. But then, like I said, there's other people that were in that boat. Think of that small business owner that lost business because you shut down stores, you shut down public buildings. You send everybody home. You put people on furloughs or whatever. What about that small business guy that lost his job because of the policies of you restricting movement? Do I blame him for sitting at home and collecting some money because it wasn't his fault? Hell no, I don't blame that guy. I would have done the same shit. So there's another instance where policy and the current administration have kind of screwed us and did some of that. Why'd you shut everything down? You didn't need to.
Donnie, so I'm still doing your paperwork on your selection for U.S. Senate. I'm definitely going to recommend you get into the Finance Committee. That's one of your duties when you get elected.
Yeah, okay, whatever, man. Whatever. But it's the truth. I think
yeah,
it's,
no.
I think it's,
And who's going to pay for this? I just lost him, Chris.
Oh, yeah. But we're gonna pay for it. We already paid for it.
We're paying for it
Your
right
Social
now.
Security number comes from is at the turn of the 19th century, we were in so much debt and we could not get the money to get out of it, that we went to the Federal Reserve, and because we had no collateral, the government put us up as collateral. And that's why we were originally issued Social Security numbers. Hence why your Social Security number technically is your slave number. And if you want to ever go deeper into that, that's your scarecrow number. Every dollar that you make, the government makes $1.50 on you.
but they don't spend it like that. Then they're stupid when they're spending.
No. Rand Paul, that Kentucky senator, he's a big fiscal conservative. Whoa, word of the day, fiscal conservative. I like that. Can everybody say that?
Fiscal conservative. Wow.
Chris?
Watch out, big words.
Big word.
These are big words. Watch out.
Yeah, my tongue is twisted on that.
But he's always voting no when it comes to finance, anything coming out of there. And he's a big proponent, man, of, spend what you can afford. Bottom line. And, before his father would talk about grandkids paying the debt that we were in during his time. Now his son, Rand Paul, is saying our grandkids are going to be paying for this. When is this shit going to stop?
Oh, dude. It's not going to stop.
No, it's got...
Listen to this theory. I was messing around with some math, maybe thinking I'm smart, right?
Oh, shit.
If we as a nation, you take as of 2019, we had a little more than 157 million people employed, right?
Yes, sir.
So you take that. So let's round it to 150 million. You take $1 a month from their paycheck. That's 150 million a month that we could have to pay towards our debt, right? You think, oh, that's a great idea.
Right.
At that rate right there alone, it would take us 16,000 years to pay back that 32 trillion we're in debt.
Yeah. No, when you said 150 million, that's chump change, man.
That's chump change. If you increase it to 10, you got 1.5 billion, right? A month.
Right.
That's paying on top of, what you're already paying anyway. It's paying the extra. It would take 213 years. So, I mean, would I be willing to give up some money to at least start a program to do something about it? Hell yeah, I'll give you $10 a month. But that just goes to show the magnitude of the debt that, damn, we owe that much money to that many countries and that many people. That's just crazy.
So remember, folks, come November 3rd, selection number 5, Donald Borgstadt, state senator.
Oh, Demas.
That sounded good, though, Donnie. That
okay, I guess. But just think about it. Somebody's got to pay that back.
Yeah, man.
Businesses have loans too, and if we're not buying product, how else are they going to get more money to pay back their loans? They got to raise prices, and it's just triple effect. Take it on up down the road.
Yeah, and how do you make that money back? You have to work.
Yeah,
GDP has got to be flowing.
yeah, we got to have more manufacturing and more products out. That's one thing right there. But the
Yes,
other
sir.
thing too is you got to look at how much you're giving out and maybe say, hey, I can't afford to give that much out. Let me bring it back in. Or I got to bring it back into my own country.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the books, see who owes what. I mean, like they always talk about in accounting or, all these financial guys, balancing the books, balancing the deficit. Look at some of that and see, hey, we don't owe money to these people no more. We're done paying. Or we fulfilled our treaty of 200 plus years. We're done paying. Look at some of that. Is that what you can do? And then it's all about better partnerships of building stuff in other places. Find ways to maybe give more money for loans that we have more incoming money coming our way. But
You know,
I don't know.
you brought something up to my mind, Donnie. You're talking about a reset with our finances, but is that part of the? And I'm exploring here as well. Um, have you guys ever heard of the Great Reset?
Little
Yeah.
bit.
I think we need to visit that on the show, the Great Reset. A lot will come out of it, man. Just
Okay.
something to chew on. That's all.
Okay, but what's the point?
Resetting the whole world economy
Yeah, okay, so
to zero,
that's a world.
because
That's a world.
it can happen though, Donnie.
How?
What's reset
How,
everything?
how you gonna do that, Demas? How you gonna do that without just basically taking and the global economy
Go ahead.
falls apart and everybody loses everything? That's
I
basically
want.
what you're saying. There's no way, man.
I don't see people giving shit up
No.
easily.
You
No.
got more
Everybody's gonna
problems.
have to put everything into the pot and then
Let's
go
just
from there
let's
again.
just
I don't see
let's
that happening.
let's just hold that thought and let's do a little more research on the Great Reset, and we can discuss it here on the Rabbit Hole.
Okay. All right, let's discuss it. But
Talks about leadership too. I'm just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here first on FFN Radio. The Great Reset.
okay. So what are we gonna do now, Demas? Now.
Now,
No. Yeah, because high prices are gonna stick around because here's another thing like we've talked about before. The gas station guy, he's not paying for the gas that's in the tank now. His prices
Yep.
are set so he can pay for the next tank.
yes, sir.
He's got to pay his cost. And with, we're hiding by, and this is the thing where I don't think they fully figured out or thought out the process of the sanctions on Russia, because you took out 7 million barrels of oil a day that was produced, 7 million. And then you come back to OPEC and Venezuela and Iran and some of these other countries saying about, hey, let's pick up production. Let's pick up production in the U.S. Well, how are they going to pay for that upkeep in production? Or how are they going to pay for that? Because nobody in the world anymore believes that, hey, I'm going to front the U.S. government, 2.5 mil to get my operations up for 90 days, and I'm going to get my money back. Nobody believes that anymore. So they're like, okay, well, hey, pay up front, pay for that. And yeah, it takes time to get that production up. I'm raising the price on you if I'm any of those customers, simply because you're going to front that cost. So there's one more triple effect where prices go up because of policy on the administration.
Alrighty, guys.
Take ownership of it.
I'm going to have to cut it there for our last break of the night. I apologize there, Donnie. With that being said, we will be back in a couple of minutes. But first, I'm going to have to read off the ads. Motivated Movies. You can find them at 508-840-4657. Hey, you might want to be moving. Landlord ain't helping you. You'd be surprised what you could do if you go look into your tenant and landlord rights. handbooks. The landlord might even have to pay the movies for you. Easy way out there, folks. And don't forget about A&J Auto Repairs and Reconditioning at 67 K Street, Fall River, Mass. Number is 508-375-1076. A&J is the only way. Now we're going to try to set up a song here. I'm going to try to make your mouth shit because I can't figure out the other shit. With that being said, everybody will probably about like 3 minutes and we will be back.
That's good.
I told you to be careful. I told you keep your guard up and watch what you say. I told you there'd be people that could make you trip just standing in place. You didn't believe anything that I said. When they came, you were not prepared. Then it all fell right on your head. Now you're lying in this bed. You got yourself in a rabbit hole. You're trapped 'cause you did not let go. You took that bait and now you know. You got yourself in a rabbit hole. You got yourself in a rabbit hole. You're trapped 'cause you did not let go. You took that bait and now you know. You got yourself in a rabbit hole. There's trouble all around you. You may not always see it, but it's still there. It may even be someone you thought that you could trust, who's got you misled. You didn't believe anything that I said. Gotta have eyes in the back of your head. Now it's so sad and you have regret, 'cause you went and did that bread. You got yourself in a rabbit hole. You're trapped 'cause you did not let go. You took that bait and now you know. You got yourself in a rabbit hole. You got yourself in a rabbit hole. You're trapped 'cause you did not let go. You took that bait and now you know. You got yourself in a rabbit hole. You didn't believe anything that I said. When they came, you were not prepared. Then it all fell right on your head. Now you're lying in your bed. You got yourself in a rabbit hole. You're trapped 'cause you did not let go. You took that bait and now you know. You got yourself in a rabbit hole. You got yourself in a rabbit hole. You're trapped 'cause you did not let go. You took that bait and now you know. You got yourself in a rabbit hole.
Alrighty. We are back. Welcome back to FFN Radio. Oh shit.
You're on, bro.
Alrighty. We are back. Welcome back to FFN Radio International. You are listening to The Rabbit Show with special guest hosts Chris B. Faco. To the left of me is Donald, and to the right of me is D. Hey, listen, we've touched on a couple of touchy topics tonight. We talked about the Rooney Rule in the NFL. We have discussed pretty much transgenders in sports. Pretty much have been going all over right now. We are talking about inflation and what is going on with that. So stick with us for the last half hour of the show, commercial free. So, D.
Yes.
And Donnie, question for you. Answer separate times. Do you believe that any of the inflation is coming from our president? Because he's our president. We might not like him, but he's our president. Our president's decision making. Donnie.
Yes.
What do
That's
you
what I
think?
was saying about the sanctions. That's a leadership, Congress, presidential type decision. Those sanctions took out barrels of oil. So guess what? Other oil producers, they were at they put up prices higher because now you're asking for more. So demand went up, price goes up. I want to make my profits if I'm a business. But that is where that's part. You can put that back to policy. That's Biden's administration. Your sanctions caused a ripple effect through oil and gas prices. Stand up and own it. Sat up there and talked about how we're going to put these sanctions on Russia and it's going to be tough and we're all going to have to bite it. Well, admit to it then. Admit that this was part of it. Don't use the Russian-Ukraine thing as a scapegoat. You use that as a scapegoat, blame it on that. No, it's not because of that. It's because of your guys' policies, the financial policies, the sanctions and all that on a global level that you put on Russia. Don't forget, 20% of the wheat of the world comes from that area. Wheat's important. Food. That's direct
Donnie,
food. It's staple food.
No, and Donnie, I want to maybe be devil's advocate with you on this. Okay, so I'm the American sitting home, and I say, well, Donnie, why don't we pump more oil? What would you respond back?
Is the environmental laws, do we have the permits in place? Because we have to have a permit to do certain things to make sure everybody's getting a cut of the money. You know what I mean? That's one little small trickle effect of it. Everybody's got to have a permit. You got to have a license. Somebody's got to get paid. A little bit here, a little bit there.
That's
how business goes.
No, because you triggered something with me when you made mention of 7 million barrels. And I know I've said this more than once, and I need to say it again. The United States oil goes on the world commodity market. So what Donnie said, that 7 million barrels of oil, that wasn't coming from Russia, from that sanction. Other oil producers, not United States, but other oil producers around the world, one, are going to make up that shortfall, but two, they're going to rise. They see an opportunity. And then again, you could say, it's Russia and Ukraine war.
But it's not the fault of the Russia-Ukraine war.
That 7 million barrels of oil, that's got to go on the world market now. It needs to be there. Other countries are going to produce it, and I researched this 2 weeks ago. We are the largest producer of oil in the world. In the world.
I get it.
In the world. And Canada or Russia is below us. I can't remember.
Right. So what does the rest of the world expect? You put the sanction on them, you produce the oil.
Hey, but wait a minute.
Prices rise, but don't blame it on the war itself. The rise in oil prices and gas prices, that's a byproduct of the policies and the sanctions. That has nothing really to do with that war. You can say and root it to that, but I call bullshit. I say it's on the policies and the sanctions you made.
And I blame that, and I agree totally with you. But that's what the Biden administration is using is the Russia-Ukraine thingy.
Yep. They're
Yeah,
using
You know,
it as
and-
an
and-
excuse.
And listen to this though. I'm an oil operator. I owned a rig and some rigs and a crew, and I'm going to work for Halliburton. Do you think me as an oil operator want to take advance to pump another 7 million to get the world commodity market open with the president that's been screaming electric vehicles from day one on his campaign?
Which
maybe not.
I would just like to
No,
point out with that, electric batteries need cobalt to run. The only place that you can really get cobalt from is the Dominican Republic of the Congo, which has 7 forms of slavery. So as you're supporting the battery for the electric, you technically are supporting slavery at the same time.
Shit,
7
and that's-
kinds, really.
So the Congo, I bet you China's there already.
Probably so. But still, once again, that is all ripple effects of a byproduct of a policy, maybe.
Yeah.
The thing about the electric cars in the Congo, yeah, like they say, you didn't say nothing about it, you condone it. Well, yeah, when you're making money off it, but you're not going to open your mouth. But yeah,
just
you're
remember
right. You
during
somewhat
the Civil
condone.
War.
You
The-
condone
during-
the slavery of people or forced labor when you're pushing that as much. You
Nobody cares. Look where we get our sneakers made at, bro.
Yeah,
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about that
Nobody
anymore.
cares.
Nobody
Nobody
cares
cares.
about that.
Just think
Pretty
about the
good.
Civil War. One thing that people aren't told about the Civil War, like many other wars, would have ended a hell of a lot sooner. Except Abraham Lincoln signed a bill stating that the North could sell the South guns after we closed off their bridges from their ports. After we closed them off, they estimated that the war would have lasted maybe about 3 more months until they had no more ammunition. Abraham Lincoln signed a bill stating that the North could sell the guns to the South and it wouldn't be considered treason.
Okay.
They do. The point of it is that they do shit. Like, they don't care the moral of the compass. They don't care about anything. All they care about is that money. They're not going to give a shit about the slavery that's going over there. They didn't care about how many Northerners died because of the guns that were made in the North to sell to the South. It's about the money.
Right. That's where we're at nowadays. So we can't ride that moral compass thing no more. I mean, that's the leadership, like we said earlier. It kind of ties in with the Rooney Rule and what they see from the Biden administration. You can break the law a little bit if it meets a certain agenda or if it's, pleasure pleasing and it gets me some votes. It's okay to make those policies. That's the world we live in, where it's okay to break the law because it meets your agenda today. That's a bad place to be in right now.
We
That's a
break the
bad
law,
thing.
it's called a crime. A politician breaks the law, it's called politics.
Right. That's called politics. That's where we're at now. That's crazy to me. But it still goes to policy sets. Policy up dictates prices. You put embargoes on imports from, say, a certain country. Well, the people that rely on that, whatever that import came from, for their way of making money, guess what? They can't make money. They can't spend money. We get no tax revenue.
And
You
there
know,
are other
there's
countries
all
that
that
still
kind of
produce
stuff
that
goes in.
product now could raise
Yeah.
their product price
Right.
because they got one less competitor out there that is getting
Right.
money.
Right.
That's the whole.
I hear you.
And that's the Russia, the stopping of the 7 million barrels of oil.
That's where it keeps going.
Yeah, man.
But you can do that. You can tie it all together if you really want to, and it makes some sense. But take ownership of it.
All right,
Take
guys, we got
ownership.
15 minutes left. Got a question for you. Do you want to keep going on this, or would you
Let's
just
see.
like to briefly talk about the UK and Russia war, since it's come up like maybe about 5 times in the conversation?
Go.
Yeah,
Dennis.
Yeah, okay. Let's start there. Hats off to the Prime Minister or whatever they call that in UK
Yeah, Prime Minister, comedian, actor.
No, that's Zelensky. Zelensky, UK, United Kingdom.
Oh, I thought you said Ukraine. I apologize.
The guy with the crazy hair. Or, anyways, that dude went to Kiev, man. Do I want to see Joe Biden go into Kiev? I didn't even want to see him in Poland. No, but I got to give it up, and I'm going on philosophy here because Zelensky was very Churchillish. You know, in his initial speeches talking about the Russians and stuff, we won't, we'll fight in the night, fight at day, whatever. But I just find that Churchill was from UK. Boris went over there. I see not mantra, but I just see history like repeating itself, but with somebody else different.
Right.
Yeah. You know what? Am I tripping or am I okay?
This whole war is a whole repeat of history.
Didn't they somewhat go through this in 2014? They went through the same thing.
Yes, but
they annexed Crimea, and now we're here again.
But when they annexed Crimea, remember who was in office? That was Mr. Obama. So he had a media-friendly press corps that worked in that White House. And the media didn't blast it out like they have been blasting it out now. Because I really believe if Joe Biden was doing better in the polls, they wouldn't be blasting out this Ukraine invasion from Russia as much as they did in 2014. I know they wouldn't. Because even the left wing or the liberal media groups they're disgusted with Joe Biden.
Yeah, you're right. There's political affiliations to certain networks, to certain political parties. So yeah, they're going to show their party in good light. But when they're going to try to build up Biden and all this, but Ukraine and Russia have been fighting for a while now. If we haven't learned from, once again, Iraq and Afghanistan, we basically went into like a civil war damn near. Yes. You know what I mean? Yes. And if we go in there, or we're supporting a civil war, basically, with giving them guns and weapons and stuff we're doing, they're going to be at war for a while because they're starting to hunker in and get tight. And the Donbas region is going to want their independence. And I don't think...
You think so?
Some of their leaders have talked about they're willing to go all out this time to get it. So I think there's going to be action over there for a while. I say in maybe 5 years, 2 years. I mean,
you're looking to get a job. They're always hiring crazy contractors, change bolts and nuts.
No.
For $200,000 a year.
And the Democrats will cause enough damage over there that you could be a contractor over there for years.
So you really think it's a civil war?
I think it's going to turn into one. I really do.
What, Russia against Ukraine people or Ukraine against Ukraine?
Ukraine against Ukraine. The Donbas region with the support of Russia.
They do have national-born Ukraine Russian sympathizers that they're killing, hence genocide, just saying.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to turn into like a civil war. I think Russia will be there supporting the Donbas region, and while the rest of the world supports Ukraine, from the Western region, those two are going to clash. And it's going to be just a long, drawn-out process. I really think it's going to turn into that at this point. Because Putin can't keep it up. He knows he can't keep it up. I mean, he's not got the research. But that's another reason, though, on the sidebar for the economies of the globe, that's another big influence it's going to be on whether we're going to stay at war or not, too, because these sanctions just don't hurt the United States. They're hurting other nations around the globe pretty hard. How long are they willing to put up with that? How long can we go on that economy before we got to say, hey, look, and even Putin be like, well, I got to regroup. I got to pull everything back and regroup. And I'll just keep supporting them Russians. And they lift the sanctions and the money and everything starts flowing again. He's got money to support that little eastern part of Ukraine to keep fighting. You know what I mean?
And bottom line, man, why Putin is all crazy is that Zelensky turned fucking west.
Yeah.
He turned to the west role model, you know? Oh,
Right.
and I was thinking about this the other day. Could you imagine all the retired generals, colonels in the army, senior NCOs that are getting consultant jobs up there? And I'm talking baby Ukraine. You know what I mean?
Right.
How they built their You look at their military uniforms; they're almost like American soldiers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's all kinds of them making millions right now.
Yeah,
Making
bro.
millions.
Yes,
They're over there consulting. They're in Poland or
yes,
they're somewhere
yes,
out of the
yes,
harm's
man.
way. They're in Slovakia or whatever it is. You know, they're over there making some killer dough.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
and yeah, that whole, and that's another thing Putin's gonna be really. That's another thing that's gonna just make him want to keep at war because that was one of his demands when he first started. Now he didn't get it. Putin might drag that out too because I think Finland and Sweden, they were both like, yeah, we're going to see if we can join NATO too. They already put their thing out there, you
Yeah, and
know? And
he said he was gonna put more nuclear sites in the Baltic states or some shit.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that's where it's like, man, this could draw out for a while. If it's just, let me keep just idle threats, kind of like the Cold War was back in the day. Just,
You know,
to
you know,
stand there at the, border, just looking at each other.
Donnie, you've played spades before.
Yep.
Big Joker, Little Joker, Ace, King, Queen, Jack, right?
Okay.
And Putin is always throwing out that little Joker, man, with the nuke.
Yeah.
And I would just, and this is how he's gonna operate here going forward until we go see our Creator.
Yeah.
As long as he's in power, that's the first thing he's gonna say.
Yeah.
He needs to be careful what he wishes for, because somebody's holding that big Joker.
I hope it's the U.S. I hope
Yeah,
I hope we're holding the one Trump because you're right. He's
yeah,
going to keep throwing it out there, just like
yeah.
Crispy Flacco was talking about earlier with when we were talking about some tribal wars and stuff. It's, people are just going to keep being at war. It's just going to turn into
Yeah.
that tribal war type stuff, and it's going to last for a while.
Yes, sir. All righty, Chris. You want to say something?
Oh no, I was just letting you go. We got about 3 minutes until we say our good nights to everybody. So you have
Well,
the floor, gentlemen.
I'll start with the good. No, shit. No. Oh, okay. Shit.
No, we got about 2 minutes until
Yeah.
we say. I'll lead it in. Don't worry about it.
Go ahead, Donnie.
No, I'm just saying it's that area is going to be at war for a long time, and there's a lot of good business to be made. So once the financials really start hitting the global economy a little more, I think some things are going to change. But until then, it's going to just linger on.
Oh yeah, I could
Pretty
imagine. Supposedly we're throwing I think the count up to is like $1.9 billion of military aid,
Mm-hmm.
and shit, that's war funding. Watch the rebuild funding we're gonna give that country.
Right.
Good God.
How are you funding that now? How are you
Yeah,
funding that? Probably
yeah,
taking
yeah.
out more debt.
Oh, that
Taking out
doesn't.
more debt to fund that. And
No,
that's why these prices are just going to stay up there.
No, that doesn't come from the treasury. That comes from that ghost account that we have.
Oh,
That $1.3 trillion a year we spent on Afghanistan for like 19 years.
yeah.
Because the first year, I don't think it cost that much.
No.
Maybe on movement.
But yeah, you're right. Where's all that money come from?
Yeah, man.
Taxpayers and people got to raise prices to stay in business because once again, look at like county taxes. Every year they go up a little more because people got to fund their projects and stuff, or they got to fund their taxes.
So
So
if I'm
it's not just about food and gas. Look at the other places that are raising their prices as well.
shit, and if I was the army, I'd start up a theme now. Join the army. Back in my time was go to Germany. Hey, yeah, hell yeah, drink
Right.
Deutsch beer. Now it's join the army. Go overseas. Poland, Hungary, any
Right.
of them border NATO countries. We're all gonna have a facility there. And
Mhm.
Donnie, in Poland, they already broke ground for motor pools, U.S. Army motor pools that I got some leeway. Poland is going to have U.S. Army troops. I don't think they'll be at the beginning fully stationed. I think they'll do rotational tours like 6 to 9 months.
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm going to have to. Sorry, gentlemen, I'm going to have to stop this now. Hey, everybody, this has been the Rabbit Show on FFN Radio International.com. You've been listening to Mr. D and Mr. Donald tonight with special guest Crispy Faco. Hey, listen, Donnie, you want to say any goodbyes?
Well, I'll just say thanks everybody for listening. Appreciate you coming on, Chris. It's great. To just everybody, I say keep your head up, keep moving on. Look for the positive. I don't see where I think we're at the bottom of the barrel, much way but up. So looking for it.
Amen to that, brother. Hey, D, you got anything to leave out with tonight?
Yes, man. I forgot to do my Russian general sniper report. Could I do that right now?
We got like 2 minutes left.
You gotta hum the Jeopardy theme. I need to hear it. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, Russian General Sniper Report is being brought to you by FFN Radio Network via the Rabbit Hole Show. Last report is 31 March 22. Generals killed 6. Estimated at this rate, we're looking at the number increasing the 13th Donbass region. Follow up. Thank you again for listening to FFN Radio Network.
All righty.
Gosh.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, then.
So, hey, guys, it's been
13.
a pleasure. It's been a pleasure, guys, filling in for Blaze Man.
Thank you, Chris.
Speedy recovery to him. With that being said, let's leave it off on a positive note since we have to run out of time. So, quote from Mickey Rooney: "You always pass failure on your way to success."
I got one.
Yep.
Donnie, you got one?
No. I like that last one Crispy left with. I like that.
Yeah. You'll like this one, too. Small penis.
What the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. Chris, watch your language. Goddamn son of a...
Whatever, Demas.
Nelson Mandela. It always
bro.
seems impossible until it is done. Willie Nelson. Once you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you'll start having positive results.
Hey, an amateur. Who said this quote? Amateur thinks strategy. A professional thinks logistics.
No clue.
Jeff Bezos.
Omar Bradley.
Yep.
Omar Bradley.
Oh, wow. I like that one.
Yeah, I did too. And you know something, Donnie? That was the whole time I was trying to profess with that organization we worked for. Mm-hmm. You know, they were always thinking of strategy, man, and I was always thinking logistics.
Yep.
Here you go, gentlemen. That is it.
You're listening to FFN Radio Network, powered by the world.
Hey everyone, A&J Auto Repair and Reconditioning is now open at 67 K Street, Fall River, Mass. They offer full automotive maintenance and repairs as well as full exterior and interior detailing. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Give them a call, make an appointment, 508-375-1076. A&J is the only way. Hey folks, dreading renting that U-Haul, moving all those boxes and furniture? Call Motivated Movers. They do all the lifting so you don't have to. The only lifting you have to do is your finger to make the call. Motivated Movers, 508-840-4657, serving Massachusetts and Rhode Island.
You're listening to FFN Radio Network, powered by the world.